live. Oi. Well, fucking g'day, cunts.
Yeah, sorry, Sarge. I clicked it and it went, and I was like, "Oh, we're in."
We're into it. It's all good. Let me just sort this out. There we go. All right. Hopefully, sit back. So I'm just gonna pack this. Hang on, does that look a bit blurry, doesn't it? Let me just.
Oh fuck!
Right,
No, make it blurry again. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, hey, who we got here? We got Secret Squirrel there. I'll be at work, but listening. Yeah, giddy up, brother. Baker Perkins, Budley, how are you, brother? Milky, how are you, mad cunt? Woodsy, Mick. Have I met there? Baker Perkins. Don't miss anybody. Dribbler. Steve, how are you? Jim L, how are you? Fun Guy Adventures, how are you? 15 in the house, Dancer, how are you? Cliff, how are you? So what's going to be happening tonight is I'm going to be playing a video from Ukraine, and it's called From Chosen Company. And basically what it is it's different people from around the world, soldiers from around the world that have come together and made like an international lead on. And it's a 50-minute video, but bear with me, it's a mad video, and it gives it their point of view whilst they're conducting this attack with GoPro footage. One of the team leaders gets shot in the helmet in the head and gets through and through in his neck. And you see the Aussie guy that you probably would have seen the short getting around with him yelling, "Get that fucking gun going." He's in it as a team leader. So he's with his team, and he killed a couple of Russians with his first scout. So you sort of get to see what it looks like and how haywire can go really quickly.
Is that the Australian officer that's sitting there pointing at old mate, and he goes, "Fucking fire that way, cunt, that way."
Yeah, he's not an officer. He's just a team leader. He's just a team leader of a det, so like a section commander.
Yep.
So who we got in the house here? We got CJ, Asfish, Woodsy, Steve. If I miss anybody, sorry, I've got it on sideways so the chat's down a bit. But first of all, I've got the bucket ready for a fucking screwball bucket.
Last week, he fucked it up last week. He's fixed it this week, and we're gonna fucking hit it.
We are gonna hit it. I'm just gonna turn the fan on.
On that note, people, if you've got them, roll them up, get ready to smoke, because that's what Sarge is getting ready before we hit this fucking story, I believe.
Yeah, we're going to do this real quickly, just while we get a few people in the house. It's Friday night. Like I said in the start, if you've got them, if you drink them, fucking sink it. If you're fucking smoking them, rip it. I'll just bring the heat up on this thing. So this is the first time I've done a screwball bucket. I've been checking the pressure. I've got good pressure. I've got good suction. I just got to bring this thing up. I'm just going to have to bring it up a bit hotter than normal. That's all, because it's on a bucket. I'm not too sure how it's going to go. But yeah, so who else we got? So everyone's coming in, sweet as. So looking forward to tonight. And then after we have a little chinwag about what we watch in Ukraine, I'll open the panel up and we can talk about whatever the topics come to hand. Hey Ash, how are you, darling? All right, she's coming up now. Now let me put this down a little bit. I just picked up Friday night fish and chips. Enjoy, yeah, giddy up. I got some good footage tonight, Dancer. All right, can you see that? That's the top of it, so it's so close. All right, I'm packing the cone now. All right.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
It's sort of working. Here we got smoke.
Milky's request for you to have a ponytail, Dom.
Well,
What's
Oh. a little bit herpy. That was a cool way to try it. So, when people that know what I was doing, I was just milking the trichome, trying to use it on a bucket, on a vape, on the screwball. That was mad. We got Monty. How are you, mate? Fairgrove. How are you? Anyone else there? Ash.
That didn't really work that well. Then, so.
Righto. So, I want to talk about the prize winners from last week. We had Royce Wallace as first, we had Steve second, and we had Vape HQ third. So they'll be getting posted out end of this week. I've just been having dramas with the photos with the paper and shit. I live in the middle of nowhere, so just have to bear with me. But yeah, they'll be out by the end of the week, so don't worry about that. And congratulations to you guys. Enjoy. And Jack, do you want to talk about what we were talking about earlier?
It's here somewhere. So we've come up with a little idea here. We've got this bit of strap. We're going to write names on it. I'm going to try and get everyone in the Newcastle area, then we'll sign it, and then we're going to post it off. If you want to be a part of it, not a problem. Just let us know somewhere to post it so we can get it to you. Write your name on it. Post it off to the next person. You know, nothing too big. Just big enough so you know fit your name or your YouTube channel or whatever you want to put on it. And then end result is it ends up at Sarge's, and it's just a little something everyone can add to for nothing, you know. If someone's really struggling and can't afford to post it, you know, me and Sarge are happy to foot the bill for postage or whatever it may be. Or if you're worried about your address or whatever, the post office offers free PO boxes you can get stuff delivered to. There's ways around everything. So if you want to get amongst it, let us know. Email Sarge. His email's on the YouTube. Get in touch with us or let us know in the chat, and we'll get it around to you.
Yep, fucking nice. And I'd love something like that. That'd be mad. So you just have to think about that, people, and feel free to respond.
Like I said, it costs nothing. Like me and Sarge are happy to pay the postage or whatever it may be, or just something to get around to everyone. You know, like Banana, Milkman, fucking all yours, Monty. These are all there, but you know.
Hey, Banana. Fuck it up. Nothing.
The only rules are you're not allowed to fuck anyone else's stuff. You just put your name on it.
That's it, eh? You fucking know.
Yeah, no touching anyone else's.
No doodles and stuff.
All right. Let's play some of this footage then, eh? Yeah, what do you reckon, Fun Guy? It's a mad idea, and I love that. Imagine that hanging from the roof here, coming down through here somewhere, or maybe through here. That'd be mad. We'll put it somewhere.
Even just something to, fucking
get the strap out, cunts. Hey, Royce, I was just talking about the winners there, mate. So yeah, congratulations, and that shit will be sent out to you at the end of the week. So,
Chris, another thing that we could do with it is if people want to take a photo with it. Do you know what I mean? Like once they've put their name on it, like.
Or take it to a spot in their town, or you know something.
And take a photo with it.
Yep.
I thought that might be a good idea.
All right. Hey, can you turn your volume up a bit, Jack?
Nah, you don't need it anyway.
All right. All right, here we go, guys. I saw Royce pop in. I see Spud Lee there. Big love, Spud.
Is it 50 or not?
I've got a broken leg, you do realise. No, I'm good to go.
Hey, this is not the right video. This is not the right video, bro.
It's the one you sent me.
No, the one I sent you today.
That's the one you sent me today.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's the one you sent me today, you tripper.
Is it?
Yeah,
All right, can you go to Chosen Cup? Can you just go to YouTube?
Yeah.
Hey, put in the search bar Chosen Company.
What do I do?
And the video's called Something by Violence. It's about 55 minutes. It was put up, I think, 5 days ago. Off the top of my head.
This one, 7 days ago. That's the one you just had me playing.
Hey?
That's the one we were playing.
Are you sure?
I've got a broken leg, you do realise. No, I'm good to go.
Like when I first got to the unit, that first night, getting woken up 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, I don't remember, but some of the guys that were on the op started, they came into our bunkers and that's when they started filling us in, talking about how they got fucked up, that it was, the operation had basically become chaos. We found out that out of the 40 plus guys that went out, they had like 26 casualties with 2 KIA. And so right then and there, you know, within my first 72 hours of being in the unit, it was kind of a stark reality check, you know, that this is what we're fighting.
Yeah, I missed the start of it, sorry. So, it should be the right one. I must have missed the start, but what we're about to watch is a bunch of international guys. Oh, shut up. This is the Aussie lad.
Our third mission, attacking a trench. This was like what we were, what we trained for the most and what we're, I guess, most comfortable with. It's the nickname we gave it because on the drone footage, there was a shovel on top of the bunker there. So we gave it a name everyone could recognize.
Well, originally we were supposed to attack the PKM position. I said, fuck that, let's hit them. The whole blow past the uterus joke. I asked Kozak. Kozak said we were crazy, but is it possible? I was like, yeah, we can do it. Our whole goal there was to cut off like a 8 or 12 man Russian position and then kill everyone behind them or capture them. And basically the Ukrainians would then push a 6-man team forward and hopefully get the guys to surrender. Because like the guys in this position were like contract soldiers. They weren't Storm Z. They were experienced guys that, they wanted captured.
About a week prior to when we were actually expected to conduct the assault,
Okay, just pause it for a
we
second.
did 2 route reconnaissance, and we went out there to essentially.
But if you could go back to where you could see the shape of the L, it's just like 10 seconds back.
6-man team forward and hopefully get the guys to surrender. Because like the guys in this position were like contract soldiers. They weren't Storm Z. They were experienced guys that, they wanted captured.
Oh, keep it quiet, please.
So, what are you talking about?
Yeah, pause it there, please. Okay, you can see that L there. That's what they're assaulting. So that L, yeah, that shape you can likely see there. Yeah, that's right. So what they're going to be doing is from the bottom side where your mouse is, they're going to be driving up the right-hand side of that L all the way to where it meets in the corner there. Yep, and they're going to debus and assault those pits. Now, below them, if you come down below them, below that, down bottom, yep, down there, further down, Jack. Next pit's down. Next lot, no, on the same L, just come down further.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. So just come right straight down. Just follow that down. So they'll be assaulting there, no, down, not up, down the street, down. Yep, down there. So the Ukrainians, so they're going to drive past all those. So they're going to be getting fired at as they drive down the right-hand side of those pits. And where his arrow is now is where the Ukrainians are going to debust. So they're going to hit it like one big hit at the same time. But what happens is the Ukraine guys fuck up and they get dropped off 500 meters short. So they've got to sprint up to the trenches and then start fighting. So that gives Chosen Company boys where where Jack is now, where they'll be assaulting, it leaves them for all the guns to turn and fire on them. Just to give you a bit of an idea of what they're actually talking about here. All right.
So, is there trenches all through that, is there?
All through there, there's all Russians dug in with machine guns and RPGs.
Yeah, right. And is that the same the whole way up there too, I'm guessing?
Yep, that's right.
And so this is Russian land, is it?
That's all Russian, that's right.
And what's this? Same?
It'd be classed as no man's land. It'd be like about probably a 400 or 500 out to 800 meter bit of land where they'd sort of just where nobody's doing shit.
Yeah, right.
About a week prior to when we were actually expected to conduct the assault, we did 2 route reconnaissance, and we went out there to essentially assess the route, make a determination on, if the passage was going to be feasible for the Humvees, just because some of the
So those 2 white ropes you see, reconnaissance has gone out in an earlier period in the night, and they put those ropes down so that these guys can see when they go to do their assault, to keep inside those 2 white ropes, and they won't hit any APs, any personal mines, or any fucking anti-armor mines.
Because of my experience in the Army with driving Humvees, I figured that even though it sucks being a driver and kind of having a limited participation in the assault, it got me on the mission, and that's what I wanted.
So basically, we were going to hop in Humvees, drive past the 0 line to hit a secondary line, and hopefully the Humvees would drive back out.
Yeah, minimal time with the Humvees because the Humvees would immediately draw.
When he's talking about the 0 line and the secondary line, that's him saying them driving up past those Russian troops. The Ukraine is going to be assaulted. So
like people are just going to
essentially they're going in behind enemy bits.
So that's fine, It's like so like those would take up fire, and with these
during the day,
and with us leapfrogging, nobody expects that because they always expect the frontmost position to get hit. With us just going right to the rear, like those guys, they weren't
threw
ready.
them off. They didn't. Yeah, the Russians didn't have a clue what the hell was going on.
The plan was because it was
so this is Mozzie. He's the guy who'll get shot later on. He'll get shot in the helmet and he'll have through his neck. So remember this guy Mozzie.
So did he make it, or?
He makes it alive, yeah, but it just shows you the impact of what a round does just hitting your helmet.
Yeah.
And sort of like meet up in the middle, kind of.
Shovel being on the corner, it was like an L-shaped trench. And then the Russians, their forward position, 105, was approximately 50, 60 meters west of Shovel, and was shaped largely like a Y or a T. And that was their fighting position. And we believe Shovel was their rest.
So you can see the shovel on the bottom right. That's why they call it Shovel. So everyone in the middle of the battle, they'll know where Shovel is in their mind's eye when they're doing their attack. Everybody will know where this is from this footage, and they'll drum this, and they'll do a map model of this, and they'll study these trenches before they do this assault.
Implementing it, like doing the planning.
This is what I talk about poor discipline when you're living inside trenches. This is what I'm talking about, having poor discipline, living shovels and rubbish and shit. So these guys now assaulting can use your own poor discipline and your poor morale against you as references in the middle of their battle. G'day, Jules. How are you, brother?
Size and scope that we could train on. Because on this one, because what we were doing was, I guess, sketchy, I guess you want to put it. We were going to actually assault the trench from 2 directions because there was like 20-some Russians in the fucking thing. So basically we were going to pincher them so that we'd funnel them all into one area, and then you could just throw grenades on them all day until they're all dead. Initially, the 59th, our commander Kozak, got drone footage. We looked at it like for a day or two, and and then we found out there was a bunch of anti-tank mines. So Kozak went to
See
the
those round
59th
circles,
Brigade,
those dots,
like the
they
engineering
hit
guys,
those,
and they had the. So Kozak.
Guys,
yeah, that's one there. Yep, that's it. Them. See, this is lucky where they got drone footage. They haven't even tried to camouflage those or anything. They just laid them out.
and there's probably heaps more under all that shit too, eh?
Yeah. No worries, Jules. Everybody, I'll be having an open panel after this, so kick back and enjoy.
Went to the 59th Brigade, like the engineering guys, and they had the Miklik. We got the mines all taken out for the anti-tank. Most, yeah. Well, we thought we hit them all.
And so we looked at ways of how can we sufficiently pack enough dudes on the Humvees that we had to conduct this operation. I pitched the idea, you know, like, what if we just took the back hatches off and stuck guys in the back? You know, you could take the hatches off there. It's pretty easy. You just gotta do some unbolting and then, you know, pretty much just lift them. And we kind of
fun guy.
it.
We use drones for everything, but we use drones with millions of dollars.
So the problem we were running into is we didn't have enough room in the Humvees. So we got the bright idea to pull the hatches off the back of the Humvee. I mean, the Ukrainians were like, you guys
even
are
when you're
stupid,
moving
but
forward into the convoy, you'll have a drone above you just so that you can get eyes what's coming up. So, you know, you've always given this constant input of data that you might, because your mission might slightly change as you're moving forward and you're getting real-time footage from drones or people that are forward of you and they're radioing back and the atmosphere or things are starting to change that weren't put in the mission statement. You might have to stop and pause as a commander and come up with new mission statements or new actions on for the soldiers as it's. So drones are Mickey Mouse.
Predominantly because you have an armored vehicle that you're now putting people in an unarmored spot. But like we wanted,
what these guys are about to do,
we were going to be able to do
they're about to drive in Humvees with the backs taken off them so they can take fire from the back. They're vulnerable from the back. So they can fly forward into the Russian gun pits. They're going to keep the front of them armored because they think that's where most of the fire will come forward as they go through past the zero line and past the second Russian line. But if they turn and put their guns on them rearward, they're fucked. All right? I watch Andrew McCraby. He's a veteran.
8 guys or 10 guys, so we needed to get, you know, more guys in the trucks. It was the only thing that we could do. They offered if we wanted like an open top Humvee. Like some of our videos, you'll see us assaulting with like a 2-door Humvee that's completely open. We turned that idea down just because we thought we were going to get smashed on the way in. Because like you're bypassing a Russian position, so all they have to do is turn and, you know, spray an open top Humvee and you're fucked.
For this operation, we worked with the Ukrainians. They had an assault team as well. And the idea for this operation was, so there were 5 Humvees. Chosen Company was in the first 3. And the Ukrainians were in the last 2. The plan was to drop off at both positions simultaneously. I was in the 3rd Humvee, like 3 assault teams. 2 assault teams, but split up into 3 Humvees. So
I can tell this guy served in the Australian military straight away by the way he talked. Then when he said correction, sorry, that's the first thing you get caught when you do your section commander's course in the Australian infantry. Is when you get taught to give lessons, or if you give false information or you say something wrong, you always say correction immediately after you say it. So that's drilled into him. I can tell straight away.
Stop at their position, and we would stop at shovel at the same time and dismount and attack both positions. This would make sure that the Russians in 105 couldn't fire at us while we attack, and that the Russians couldn't fire at the Ukrainians as they attacked. So we had them both occupied at the same time.
When we finally got the call that, you know, mission was a go, we had a couple things that we had to do in terms of, you know, final preparations, staging points. And I remember we got to the very last staging point, got into the wood line, concealed the trucks, and got into the trenches that were there with the Ukrainians. And it was almost like a heartwarming moment because the Ukrainians that were occupying that trench they had some potatoes and they cut them up and made like some homemade fries for us. And so here we were just hours before we were about to conduct the assault, and it was like the Last Supper hosted by our friendly Ukrainians.
So what are you saying there? They've moved into their former point in the FUP, and they've moved into the FUP. There's some Ukrainians there that were, because obviously you can imagine Ukraine and Russia, they love their potatoes. They were peeling some potatoes and they got to have some mad Ukrainian chips made by Ukrainian soldiers just before they knew they were going to this. What they're about to do is fucking dangerous as shit. To drive in, everything has to be fucking perfect for this to pull this off. Everything has to be right. The Ukrainians have to arrive at the same time. They have to debus at the same time so they can confuse the Russians in all their trenches. Because confusion will be what they'll use against them immediately, the element of surprise, and then that immediate violence as they hit the trenches from all sides. The Russians should be overwhelmed and confused. So, yeah.
People were just really psyched because we had actual drone footage of like Russians in this actual fortified trench that we were going to assault. With Pervo 2, it was more a series of assaults that needed to be conducted over like a larger amount of ground, and there wasn't Russians in all of these positions, or we hadn't seen Russians in all of the positions. Whereas Shovel was more of what I would call like an intimate situation. We knew 100% we were going to go and kill some fucking Russians that day.
Here we go. The GoPro footage will start now.
Ready, boys?
Fuck driving around in one of these things, eh? He's looking fuck that.
Eventually, we did get the call on the radio that the operation was a go, conduct the assault. We mounted up and exited the tree line and started the
He straight away. I wouldn't let my driver be smoking. No way in the fucking world.
And driving the first vehicle, it kind of, I could in that moment feel the weight of responsibility kind of weighing down on my shoulders, that this is my first mission in Ukraine. And the guys are relying on me to not get us lost, to make sure that I take the right paths and that I don't veer off the proven route. And so as soon as we departed and started heading, I could feel the anxiety start to build up. And then as we're making turn after turn, turning into tree lines to cross over into a new path, I could feel it build up. And as we're getting closer and closer.
So they've taken the back off the Humvee so they can put the exposed back. Usually there's a canopy that comes down here and it's like it can take, 50 cal. That's what I mean, Dan. So anything, it's just adding another element of surprise, you know what I mean? If he's smoking and that happens, exactly. And we're driving down a track where if he misses one wheel, 30 centimeters left or right, he could hit an AP. So, you know what I mean? So eliminating that, you're not fucking smoking, right? Hey, boys, we're about to leave in 5 minutes. Have your fucking durries right now. Let's go.
What a day! What a lovely day!
The route there was really fucking bumpy. Obviously, the closer we got to these positions, the more shell-pocked the ground was. Lots of debris everywhere. It was the closer you got to the position, the more it looked like you were driving into hell.
This is where they'll be thinking as they're driving in here. They'll be thinking of their actions on what do I have to do? As soon as this vehicle stops, they'll be rehearsing what they have to do in their head. Each man will be going through what their next move is. They'll be thinking about what I've got to do. Where do I need to be on the ground? What am I to expect? Where are those Russian picks? Where do I need to assault? They'll be looking for familiar landmarks that they saw in this drone footage where they know they can take cover. This will be going through their heads as they're coming in here.
Final stretch in front of me and how it looks nothing like what I remembered from the drone footage and how badly the drone footage translated to what I actually saw in that final turn. And then it was at that.
So how do they get that rope there down, Sarge? Do they do that by foot or by drone?
No, they had so they were softening these guys up first with artillery. That's why all the woodage is gone. So they softened them up, and once they've done that, they would have sent in some recon boys or some special forces lads that would have laid down these ropes.
Yeah, okay.
That moment that it, you know, you really clicked in and just started driving.
We had 3 drop-off locations. My Humvee, the rear Humvee, was going to stop at the beginning of the trench, the middle Humvee, the center in the corner, and then the front Humvee was going to stop towards the end of the trench past the L. So we're already taking RPG and mortar fire as we're rolling up to the trench.
What's that rear Humvee?
I remember I was driving, just going focused, completely focused, looking, no mines. And then our medic who sat behind me just started yelling, "Stop, stop." And so I just slammed the brakes.
Here we go, let's go. They've got to put their jobs on now, boys. They'll debust. This is where they'll start going through, but bang, they got hit with the mortar.
I felt and heard an explosion behind us, and then I couldn't see anything. Just dirt and smoke just covered our Humvee, and I had no idea what just happened.
Whose man's just got hit and it's still debunked. No one luckily got injured badly.
I see the Humvee in front of me just blow up in a cloud of smoke and dirt. I'm thinking, oh fuck, they've hit an AT mine.
Get out!
I see this. How are you, brother?
Everyone in it came out okay, some light injuries, but they still survived and they still fought. We enter the trench after the Humvee, we start fighting. We don't know it at this time. We're taking fire from the other trench where the Ukrainians are meant to be. It turns out that their Humvee drivers dropped them a few hundred meters short of the objective. So
and that's the Ukrainians running up.
A few hundred meters
they're going
all
to
the
be
way
fucked
to the
when they
trench
get to
and
the
then
pit.
start fighting. But until in that
That's
time
why
that it
as
took them to
Australian
get
soldiers,
there,
we always fuck ourselves before we go into a
Russians were
sector.
sort of
That
thinking,
exactly.
what the fuck is going on, and started firing at us, launching RPGs and shit. In my GoPro footage, I didn't notice it until recently, but you can see an RPG fly right across my head at the top of the screen.
Watch this. Oof.
But because we were so fast,
hey guys, how are you?
But because we were the top of the screen, but because we were so fast and effective to get into the trench, it as soon as we got into cover, they couldn't do anything.
I at first thought in the confusion that it was our Humvee that had been hit. I looked around, saw that all my guys were okay, but like I sort of realised we've got to get to the fucking trench at this point. So without the tactical bound, I kind of just moved.
You've got to get in them trenches. They're exposed to indirect fire, which is mortars, rockets, artillery, any fucking shoulder weapon. They're vulnerable as fuck to machine gun fire. They need to get in these trenches.
Vehicle.
They need to
Pinion
move
was
forward.
there. Dota was there. Zeus fell.
What were you saying, Sarge?
You need to move forward now. See how they're stuck there in the open? They need to move forward in their ones and twos. There's one's firing, the other one's moving forward. They need to get into these trenches. Where they are now, they're exposed to indirect fire. Indirect fire is mortars, artillery, any shoulder-served weapon, even machine guns that are staked. So they need to get into these trenches now.
Fell off the Humvee, and basically from that point it was just start the assault. So we pushed the assault from there. Basically I yelled at the guys, get the fuck up, let's move. The third vehicle at that point was also dismounted. So their team leader Dave basically looked at me. I said push on our side. So they pushed their guys forward. I helped get our guys up and moving. At that point the driver's weapon had gotten blown up in the Humvee. So I basically threw my rifle to Dodo. And from that point on, I just ran with grenades and a radio on an assault.
Grenades
idea, but
so when that Humvee got hit, the driver lost his weapon, so he gave his weapon to his driver, and he's gone, fuck it, I'm just going with grenades and my radio.
Seems fine. I think we're good.
Wow.
And then once I saw that everyone, the guys that were in the boot of my truck, as well as all the passengers had gotten out, they started getting online in front of me and conducting their bounding to get into the trench. That was my cue to go ahead and start leaving, because you can't sit there with the vehicles long. You have to get in, dump troops, and then get out as
The
quickly as
bullet
possible.
traps while these vehicles are
Once we
there. So
actually
what
left,
people will
whenever I
tend
was
to do
driving, I
when
was
you're
looking
looking for
for
beauty,
the
you'll fire
path
at the
that
biggest
I
thing you
came
see.
in on, so
The
that I could
biggest thing
ride those
there is them
tracks and
vehicles,
back
so they're
out.
bullet traps.
And I was going focused, and then all of a sudden I just felt another explosion, and then the inside of the cab just filled with smoke. And so at that moment I was like, what did we just get hit by? So once we got to our staging point with the 2 Humvees, we started concealing the Humvees, and then I started talking to Shaggy, and trying to just kind of, even in that moment where it just happened, you're already trying to look back and kind of talk about what just happened. And then that's where we could see that our Humvee, the turret, actually took a hit from an RPG. And you could see where it penetrated on the left side of the turret, but then went through, double penetrated the turret, and detonated outside of it. When we were looking at the turret, we knew which side it got hit on, at what point we got hit, and the angle that it came from and the direction, it was about 450 meters to the next Russian
Thanks,
trench.
fun guy. I appreciate it, mate.
And so when I realized that, the only thing I could think about was, these dudes came to play. I mean, hitting a moving Humvee from 450 meters with an RPG and unguided rocket.
Pause it for a sec.
It's not an easy shot to do.
So, what if you didn't miss it at the start? What they were saying was there's 3 types of Russians they come across. They've got the Russians that have just been thrown out of jail, and like potato farmers that have just been thrown forward. They've got the Wagner group, and then they've got the actual conscripted soldiers, the actual Russians. And he's saying when you're fighting the guys, the Z guys, or the guys that have been contracted out of prisons and things like that, or the guys that are from Wagner Group, it's a pretty easy fight because they have no discipline. They're not really been taught much. They've just been thrown to the front lines as fodder. But the guys that they're coming across, like these guys that are dug in and sort of know what they're doing, these guys come to fight. Like you said, that dude hit a Humvee at 450 meters with an RPG in the turret. Like, that's a trained soldier right there. That's a shot it's a hard shot to make. That's someone that's been practicing with RPGs on moving targets, and he made that assessment straight away. These guys come to play. So
how hard, like you're saying that's a pretty fucking out there shot. Like, how hard is that shot?
That shot is very difficult. It's because you got to lead the target, and you need to have an understanding of what kilometre per hour he's going. You need to have a really good understanding of the distance. So he has a really good understanding of how far that trench is that they're assaulting is away from his trench. So he's been given good intelligence in that sense of what that distance is. But then he's got to take in consideration the movement direction of that turret. So he's led that vehicle it's a really good shot. It's good training. It shows that
he was aiming for the cap and he just got the turret, and that's, pretty.
Yeah, just to hit the vehicle at all.
Yeah.
Frag out!
Every time they say frag out, that means grenade. They're throwing a grenade.
Reloading!
Built up fucking left! Let's go!
The Aussie.
Can I just say right now, I fucking love the way this Aussie carried himself through this. It's fucking the most Aussiest Aussie you'll ever hear speak, I swear to God.
Mad gun.
My team dismounts, so does the other team. So we had Alpha and Bravo group, and we both enter the trenches from different ends.
So what they're doing now is they're putting in fire to keep these guys from popping their heads up in the trench so they can move forward. So it looks like they're firing nothing, but what they're doing is this is called effective fire in the sense of they're keeping their head down by having a round land a meter above them or a meter to the left or the right continuously. Whilst you're doing that, you can effectively keep them in the trenches and stop them from getting up the fire in their heads if you do it correctly and you practiced it. So that's what they're doing now. It's like they're firing at nothing, but what they're doing is they're keeping the Russians in the trenches.
And you can tell the amount of gun control these guys have from the video we watched last week, was it?
You can see the difference with the Ukrainians and some guys that are trained up a bit.
Yeah.
The Mrs. Leon J, mate, we're just doing some Ukraine footage where there's an Aussie as one of the team leaders.
Got to the edge of the trench and started prepping frags ready to chuck in, make entry into the trench.
Watch this in front of us, point of view right now. Russian soldier running in the corner here.
Obviously, it was loud as fuck. Like, guys were shouting. Yeah, it was just pure chaos at first. Lots of explosions going off, all that good shit.
Hurry up! Frag it!
Ready now, I think. Yeah, there it is. Boom, boom, boom.
Frag the trench to there! Moss, he's right there! He's right fucking there! Moss, he's on the other side. Cover me, cover me! We need to get in the fucking
These guys are bunched up. If I was the team leader here, I'd be spreading these lads out straight away. This is scares the shit out of me how they're bunched up like this.
Go! Go to the left! Go to the left! Hey! He's here on the left, be careful! He's here on the left, be careful!
Okay, so that guy there on the right, with the yellow you can see, I think is Mozzie.
This one?
Yep.
Into the trench. So I started to pie the corner.
Look how quick this happens. Boom.
Mossie's hit! Man down! Man down!
And my
Take that back,
operation
Jack.
unfortunately ended.
Man down!
Is that what you wanted?
Mossie's hit!
Go
Man
back a bit
down!
more.
Managed to get into the trench.
Yeah.
Is he carrying a cob of corn with him or what?
No, okay, so what that is, because they've got no communication in the trenches, when they come, because you know how one guy entered south, like the Aussies are down south and these guys are north and they're going to meet in the middle. So as they're assaulting towards each other, so they know they're not going to fire upon each other, if they don't know who's around the corner, they'll throw that. What that is pieces of wood with hessian rolled up. And they'll throw it around the corner. And if you're sitting there like this waiting and you see that hessian come flying around the corner, you know you got friendlies there.
Yeah, right.
So I started to pie the corner.
Boom.
Mossie's hit! Man down! Man down!
And my operation unfortunately ended like relatively quickly.
Where? Man down! Enter to the trench!
And that's the team leader down. That's why you practice having the team leader go down so you don't lose control.
Stay still!
Hey, Matt, Rob.
At first I thought I'd been blown up because everything just went fucking slow motion. Next thing I know, I'm looking down at my feet and then I feel myself topple back and I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. I thought in that moment that I was dead. There's a bit of a joke around the company that people say to me, am I dead? Because that was the first thing I asked after I'd been hit.
Mossy, stay where you are! You're not dead!
I love his soldier's response. You're not dead.
After asking my boys if I was dead and them answering no, I was like, yeah, this is fucked. I think I might be paralyzed. And then after about 5 minutes, the pain started to kick in throughout my whole body. So I was relieved to feel the pain, but it was pretty fucking bad pain. So, and I still couldn't move very well, but I could move. So I kind of realised in that moment I wasn't paralysed. All was not lost. Guy that had shot me about 20 meters away down the trench. He was sort of like Haji firing over the top of the trench. You've probably seen videos of how the Taliban do it in Afghanistan, how they lift the guns up and spray over the top of the trench. Yeah, that's how this dude got me. He was already injured, but he was fighting on. He wasn't giving up too easy. So he was putting bursts of ammo over the top of the trench. He also hit one of our dudes in the head, like very shortly after.
Took a hit to the head.
He luckily only grazed our friend's head, so didn't put him out of the game. That guy actually then went on to kill that guy with a frag. You've probably seen it in the drone footage. He threw a frag down the trench. The guy leant over to pick it up and blew himself up.
Dumb cunt.
We get into the trench and we start clearing it.
Weapon up, weapon up. Let's go, boys, we're good.
A bit of a 20-meter length of trench. There's a little, not a bunker, but it's a spot with overhead protection.
Get down, get down, get down.
I was second man in, behind the first man, right behind him, and he's trying to get into the little dugout, and he's struggling. And as he struggles, I'm looking forward with my weapon up, and I see this Russian's head pop around the corner, and I say, "Oh fuck!" And me and my mate shoot him.
Weapon up, run! I'm good.
And then he disappears around the corner, so we don't know what happened to him at that point. So we do all that, we push forward, and we hold security on the front, and then me and my other mate clear around the trench.
Get into that corner, push like Tennessee. That's friendly that way. Over here. Frag out! Frag out! I'll get him. We dropped one. I have frag in front of him. Ready? Frag out!
That's it. Good time. Put on new magazines. 30 rounds.
I'm too fucking heavy. Okay, shot. Who's with me? Get grenade in there, eh? Who's with me? Tennessee's back behind you. Nothing's behind you. There's a short right here. You okay? Hold front, hold front. Okay, Tennessee, you're gonna advance forward. I'm gonna start shooting casualty in here. Okay, okay. It's a J! Where is he?
So that's clear there. We frag it, clear it. It's that side of the trench is clear, and then we push forward to where the bunker is. So we've reached our limit of advance, and now we're waiting for the other team. The dude that we shot just then was laying dead, face down in the trench. He had no weapon, no body armor, no helmet, because his weapon was right next to me when I shot him. There was a PKM there, and he wasn't quick enough to go get it. So unlucky for him, because we were already there. That's why it's so important to be quick in these situations. We had no communications with Alpha Team or Alpha Group. We had no idea what happened, what's happened to him.
Nah, bro, you're good. Yo. Keep moving up. We gotta get out of the open. Why'd you took the hit? Bunker! Bunker! Got it. Get down there! Get down there! Get off his arms! Pull him back! Pull him back! He can't get into position the other way! Where am I hit? Neck! Kick your legs, bro! Kick your legs! I'm gonna flag that forward bunker! Get long, get long! I can't. You're good, bro. You're good. Holy crap! Fucking moss! Continue out, bro. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Wait, take that position. Watch out. There's 2 bunkers.
This is why Australian soldiers, why it's important, why we live in trenches and we do it for weeks at a time and we practice this stuff. As you can see how hard it is to operate some of these trenches. Someone goes down, now you've got to expose yourself. He's got to get out into the high ground now here, and he's in the middle of a Russian troops dug in. So this is why Australian soldiers, we take this is why our nickname is around the world is called the Aussie Digger, is because we get really good at learning how to fight in trenches and war and this type of fighting. And you can see why it's important to practice this stuff, because you can see how hard it is to operate in this environment.
So how would you get him out of that trench there if he can't move his legs and he's stuck like that?
Well, now we're just going to be stuck in there now because we can't pull out until I know that our mission has succeeded and the Russians have been killed. So we're just going to monitor him with first aid, and I'll be on the radio trying to organise a casevac.
Yeah.
Kevin, get the radio!
G'day, Sunshine.
Radio. No! No radio. The other one.
Okay, guys, notice this guy you can see here firing now in front of us. Okay, when I was watching this video earlier, I noticed this guy's probably been in the infantry for a long time, or he's a special forces soldier, ex-special forces soldier. Because what got me onto it was watch how this guy operates. Is he easily transitions the butt of his weapon from his right shoulder to his left shoulder. That caught my eye today when I was watching it, and that's not normal. That's not normal for a soldier to do that. That's trained in warfare. That's trained. That's something like I practice with right soldiers. This is something that picked me up here. See that bang? He just transitioned to his left easily. For him to do that like that just shows me he's a well-trained soldier.
Drop.
That was a drone.
Was that a bomb drone?
Yeah, that was a bomb drone. Just missed him.
Drop. Suicide drone. Turn the fucking his head on. Very quickly, get up.
Hey, Bong One, stay away.
Arm up. Stop it. Fuck. Hey, bro. Bro, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get you out.
So if you just watch that guy that's kneeling there, you'll see he transitions quite regularly from his left shoulder to his right shoulder as he needs to do things. That's
To the right. To the right.
that's good shit. That's
Ollie,
good
you're 2
shit.
o'clock. You're 2 o'clock. You must stay still.
Even the way he was holding his rifle just then, Chris, and he was doing something with his hand, he still had it so well propped to that shoulder.
Yeah, see what I mean? How you just the intelligence you get by looking at the way the soldiers operate.
No, I shot there, but I don't think I got him. Keep pressure on it, bro. You're good. It's not bleeding out. Yeah. It's not bleeding. It went in and out, mate. You've got a nick, all right? It's literally a nick. You're good. All right?
So in and out means it's gone through with a bit of his skin and out the other
You were getting you up.
major.
Drone!
Get in my bag and find the fucking EW.
Where's your D-Sack?
I'm on top of it. There.
But the reason why he's still limp is that the impact of 7.62 at 20 metres away to the helmet is like taking, 50 hits from Mike Tyson. His body's fucked. He's probably got a mental health injury. Sorry, a mental
Mossy, which
brain
one's
injury
on?
at the moment.
Bro.
And
Yeah,
his
I've got it.
nervous
Which
system
one is
just been
on?
whacked to be
It's
set.
on.
Face them at the drone. Big.
Now this is a jammer. This is called a directional jammer.
It's on. It
So
says
this will jam
100%.
whenever you point at it. So this is hopefully a drone will come and they just point that at it and just knock it out the sky.
Obviously, I was like physically, I was taken out of the game, but I did what I could to try and keep in the know, sort of. Like I can't just relinquish complete responsibility just because I've been hit.
Man down, Mossy's hit. Man down, Mossy's hit. Delta 1.
Yep, Ollie's calling for you up there.
Bro, would you fuck me? Someone swap places.
Right.
Here, give me that.
Radio.
Take the radio with you and go up there, Kev.
Going.
Give me that.
Fuck, I got hit in the head. Derek. Right to left. Is it on? Ollie! I'm here, bro.
There's a bunker to the right of us. There's 2 guys in it.
Your arms here. Keep your arms here.
No, like, hold my body up.
Right, here. Ready? Right. Put your legs here. Other leg.
Can you rest me up against the wall?
Trying. Right, pointing towards me.
So I was still asking for sit reps. I was still talking to my guys, finding out what was going on with them. Every time artillery hit the trench or whatever, I was checking up on them. I was still trying to give orders to people where I could based on what I could see and based on the sit reps I was getting. So yeah, you can't completely give up just because you've been hit.
Grenade in, grenade out, frag out. Stop it! Stop it! My weapon's fucked! Give me a weapon!
My PK's right behind you.
Grab that grab.
Give me a rifle!
Looking that grab.
Grab!
See, when I saw that, I was disappointed. He didn't even try to fix that weapon then. All he did was rack it, and he didn't see a cartridge eject. So what he should have done next is then he should have applied the safety catch. He should have taken the magazine off, and he would have shaken. He would have found there would have been a double feed, and the double feed would have come out. He could have put the magazine on. He would have released the cocking charging handle, and then he could realign. But he didn't even try. He went rack nothing. He didn't even try to clear it. So
My side of the trench is basically chuck as many grenades as you can, get in there. Once we breached the trench entrance, I had 2 guys in front of me, Tennessee and Dave. A Russian actually came running from a side bunker and got schwacked immediately. Like, dude didn't have a fucking clue where he was, what was happening. So the surprise element worked 100%. Swede shoots like the first 2 guys. Just drops them like a sack of potatoes. The 3rd guy, I was yelling, surrender and rushing to him. He got into our trench. I figured he was going to sit down, but instead of sitting down, he realized, I think he realized at that point that we were not friendly troops. And even after yelling at him, he just turned around, ran back out of the trench.
Because you were saying, grab that guy, surrender, hey, get back here. Yeah. And the guy ran out to go get the other guy's rifle.
So we had a guy in our unit, a Ukrainian, one of the platoon sergeants, whose call sign was like similar to, Steech. But he thought I was yelling Steech at him, and I was really yelling stop, surrender. So that's why he was saying what the fuck, because he thought he had just shot our Ukrainian unit. Because when we attacked the trench, we attacked the second line of the Russians, and we had a Ukrainian unit attacking the first. So he thought the Ukrainians had pushed up to us and that he just accidentally killed a Ukrainian. But in reality, it was fucking Russians. So yeah, he was a little confused. It took him, 20 seconds to realize nope. Yeah, once he looked over, saw the Z patch, was like, okay, game's back on. And the guys ran back out of our trench and didn't surrender. It was like, all right, drop them. So we dropped them.
the way he's firing his weapon then called canter. I don't know why he's cantering his weapon like that for, because it makes your rounds come off diagonally. Your group goes up diagonally to the right, so you get a chance of missing your target. He could have had it tied up vertically. I don't know why he had his weapon canted like that.
Yeah, my operation didn't completely end there. I would say I spent the rest of it pretty much giving target indications to one of our guys, Dirty P. I was like, he was our machine gunner. I was giving him target indications for drones in the air to shoot down with the EW. It's a lot harder to give a target indication to something against like just a plain blue sky than it is something on the ground. So that was pretty tough, especially after you've just been shot in the neck.
Remember in my videos, I've talked about target indication.
We got you covered.
Target indications is range indication type of target, RIT. That's the acronym we use for it. RIT, range indication type of target.
Three Russians in the foxholes. They not in the trench, in the hole, in the foxholes. Do you copy?
Yo.
So they're like 30 meters away.
Say again.
No, I don't answer. I think they're keeping their names anonymous because of, Russian special forces. So you might be able to find it somewhere.
In my pouches. Yeah. No, here, belt. One down.
Are they close?
Yes. Go.
And then
So
there was
that's
like
who we
3 other
fire
ones that fucking found like a little artillery shell scrape to lay in. There was some shooting back and forth for a little bit, and then Zeus hit him with a grenade.
Oh, this is a perfect grenade, bro.
Down here. I have to rest my arm for a second.
Hey, Fitting, you got comms with them?
No radio, man, no radio.
What about voice?
Where's the rest of the guys?
Wait, I'll get comms. Yo. Hey. No, we got no comms with Delta 1. We cleared that half of the trench, and now we're sitting on the end of the edge of the bunker, waiting for communications with Alpha Group, and we hear nothing. And previously to that, we see and hear explosions over there. A drone comes in, hits their part of the trench. So I'm thinking, at this stage, I'm thinking like, fuck, these guys could be injured or dead, because we heard absolutely nothing, no yelling, no anything. So I say to my guys, like, fuck it, we're going to commit and clear the bunker. No, we got no comms with Delta 1. We're at Shovel. We're at the LOE. Can you get...
Delta, this is Haji. Ollie, Moss. Jay.
Yo.
Is someone in that fighting position?
Yeah, Yorkie's holding it.
Tell them to yell.
They are. Nothing.
You might have to push through Shovel.
They got hit with 2 suicide drones so far.
Who did?
Fucking D1.
Is anyone alive?
We don't know, man.
We need to push.
Okay. Hey, we need to push.
We need to push.
Sorry, camera fell off. Now, some people are probably thinking, well, when you meet in the middle, how are you going to prevent like fratricide, like friendly fire, like through gunfire or grenades? And we already planned for this. So each team had a limit of exploitation or limit of advance inside the trench.
Okay, pause it for a second.
Bunker in the center.
See, straight away there, I know, again, he's definitely Aussie soldier, because we call it limit of exploitation. And then he corrected himself straight away and called it the limit of advance, which is what the international community calls it. But when he says the limit of advance means in his mission statement, when he was given what they were breaking down to what those teams were going to do and conduct inside those trenches, they all had a limit of advance, which means they had a place where they couldn't advance anymore. They had to stop and they had to defend that position. So they'd effectively achieved their mission. And his was Shovel. So what's happened is he's the shovel. So he's limit of advance. But again, what I was saying before to say he's an Australian, he said limit of exploitation, which is what Aussie soldiers call it. So straight away, that's another sign I know he's a trained soldier. Just wait, Jack. And what he's talking about here is he's talking about how the boys where Mozzie's gone down, he's heard nothing from them lads. So he's like, fuck, I'm going to grab the boys and we're going to start assaulting trenches. We're going to start moving up towards him to see what's going on with those guys. So that's what he's talking about. Hey, Leggy.
What each team was going to do was going to meet. They were going to halt outside the bunkers on their respective sides. And then we were going to gain communication with the teams. And then one team would then commit into the bunker to clear it, depending on what each side of the entrance looked like, if one was maybe collapsed or more feasible and whatnot. And we also had little flag markers, little flags made up, bit of Hessian rolled to a wood stick. And if we didn't have comms with each other, we would throw it around the corner so that the people on the other side could see it and know that it's us. So that's how we mitigate fratricide if comms are down.
Somebody asked a question about comms. Do soldiers on comms also have drone images? It depends on what equipment you've got, whether you can get real-time imagery from drones above, or whether you could go with what your last image is before you take off and start your mission. It all depends on if you're going in light or heavy.
Freddy's on shovel!
Stoppage.
I'm covering.
You're okay.
I'm going to frag into the corner. You might have to push back when I do it, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, till you get rolling.
Someone pass me an F1 or a frag.
You look how fucked up that environment is to assault.
Here's a frag.
Going? Get ammo in there, boys. It might be a big bomb, okay? Friendly! Nothing, okay? Fragging.
Roger, covering. As soon as we throw this frag, who's not there? Go on, as soon as we throw that frag, get around the corner there, because I'm coming back that way.
It's got ammo. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Frag out. Good fucking frag.
So we get in, we clear this bunker, and the first thing I noticed was the smell. I think the Russians were so scared to come out that they were shitting and pissing in the bunker because it smelled like human feces the whole time in there. But like the whole bunker was filled with munitions, both like a lot of grenades, a lot of equipment. I found a couple of thermal optics in there as well too when I was looking around. I think we found Russian radios as well too, which is a big find.
On you.
Somebody's screaming. Bunker. That's a bunker in front of us too. Yeah. I don't want to hit friendlies.
No.
Just wait a sec, see if he dies. They might be dead, dude.
Stand by. It's going over the top of this, yes?
Yes. A little bit further.
Frag out!
Non-stop!
We're sitting there figuring out what's going on, and I'm looking at the corner of the trench and I see this non-stop come around the corner, and I yell, non-stop! And we jump back into the bunker, and you can see in my GoPro the flash from the explosion. So before they knew we were there, they started fragging, and after that is when I started yelling like friendly, and then we got a response.
Friendlies!
Who was that? Friendly!
After yelling back and forth, I see one of their flags come around the corner, so I know, okay, they're good.
All right, okay. Hey, Ollie! We're going to push this bunker in front of us! Do not enter!
I don't know if they're crossing there.
No. We're going to push across this, get to that corner, make eyes, okay?
Yeah, CJ. There'd be somebody that can speak Russian 100%.
Do not get in the bunker.
And between us in the corner of the trench, there's a bunker here, and I could hear someone dying. I didn't know who it was. I thought it might be coming from in the bunker. I could hear him moaning and groaning. I go around the corner and I link in with the other team. They're all good except one of our guys has been shot, but he's alive. Then I can see a dead Russian on the ground, and it was a PKM gunner. And he was, I believe he was the guy who shot our guy in the neck as well. And he was the guy I heard dying just a few minutes ago. But by the time I reached him, he had already died and bled out. I searched this dude, this dead Russian, for grenades, but he's got nothing on him. He's just got his PKM.
Check him. See if he's got a grenade.
Oh, yeah. Bad day at the office, mate. Oh, lucky I'm wearing these gloves. No frags.
Right.
Oh, gross.
Just be careful. Is this clear, Jay, or not?
Hey?
Is this clear?
Yeah, it's a dead end, bro. You're good. You going all right?
No.
Did you get hit by suicide drones?
Yes. Bad.
How bad's Mossy?
In and out on the neck.
Fuck. Any other injured?
Just Mossy.
We start forming a defensive posture in the trench now, because now we're worried about a counter-attack from the south.
Lay down. I can pull it out.
Yeah, go take defensive position.
Lay down. Lay down.
Yeah, got it. Go
Lay down. Lay down.
position here.
Lay down.
Are we getting countered? Yeah, everybody's okay. We lost the vehicle. I don't know what's happened to it.
All right.
Got a counter.
Nah, Dan, so I'll just let them drop where they lay.
Here, grenades.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him.
Right, get to the fucking.
You moved me out of the trench, obviously.
Shit.
Where's
the?
Right there. Right
Got
there.
it.
All right, come to this side.
Go.
All right.
How you doing, brother? Move left.
That's why in France, in the Western Front of there's a lot of bodies still, Australian soldiers still in the mud there, mate. Still, there's probably hundreds of thousands of soldiers that lay dead in the mud in the fields of France.
And this whole time we're taking extremely close 120 mil mortar rounds to the trench. In the video as well that was posted online, you can see the Canadian Dirty P. He has a real close call that rocks him really bad, and you see me come up to him, check him, and he moves positions. Like, that's how close these explosions were getting.
Oh, fuck. Ah! Fuck, I'm hit.
Yeah, bro.
Ah!
Coming, mate, coming.
Oh. Fuck.
You look good, mate. You look good. Yeah.
Fuck me.
You okay?
You okay?
You're alive. You're alive.
You all right?
Can you get up, man? You're gonna have to get up.
Yeah, just let me get back there for a minute.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Oh. Jesus cock. Oh.
That op lasted quite a while. Like, we were essentially taking mortars and artillery the entire time. I recall someone mentioning that the Russians tried to gas us. They tried to launch artillery or mortars with gas rounds, but because of the way the wind was blowing, it blew away from us. So we never had to deal with any sort of gas on our position, thankfully. But this is not the first or the last time that the Russians are using gas on troops in the field as well. We just happened to get lucky. We were really happy with that operation because we went really hard, really fast in the assault, and although the Russians tried to counterattack, the Ukrainians hit them with artillery and mortars before they could get to us, thankfully, which would save us another battle having to try and get out of there.
We moved the Swede to a sniper position. He ended up schwacking like 6 dudes in a trench.
Yeah, just the
like
north.
600 meters away. Yeah. And the Ukrainians actually went and took that too, because there's nobody
'cause
left in it.
He was shooting at it, and he was like, "Hey, P, come on over here, help me shoot at this." I'm like, "I can't even see what I'm shooting at." And he's like, "Just shoot. I'll let you know." And he's looking through his thermal, and so I just start shooting, and he's like, "Higher." So I'm just like adjusting my gun while looking at him, And he's like, all right, right there. And I just like, hold on, I've just got a PCAM. So we're just putting bursts out into this field. I can't see anything because it's nighttime. And he's just like, yeah, you're good. Just spray there every now and then. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, hold on. Then I'd hear him shoot. And it's like he was just having me shoot, and it would make the guys in the trench panic, and they would expose themselves, and then he would shoot them.
From the point the trench was taken, we sat there, I can't remember exactly, but it was either between 4 to 6 hours. It was definitely dark by the time we started to exfil. Luckily, I had like 2 fucking awesome medics that like 100% saved my life and kept me alive in that trench. And then exfil under darkness. Yeah, around about the 6 hour mark.
Exfil means to extract out of the
dudes were absolutely beat at this point, so it wasn't the easiest exfil in the world. Obviously, they had to haul my fucking broken ass out of there as well, which I felt really fucking bad for. I've casevaced dudes before, and that was my first time being casevaced, and I definitely felt more sorry for them carrying the stretcher than I did myself, who was on the stretcher. Yeah, and I like at the time I wasn't even a heavy dude. I was 82 kilo, wringing wet. So
we made our exfil out of there. I was part of the last group to leave. I was with one of the wounded. I was with Swede as well too, and we walked our way all the way back to a medic variant of the M113, who picked up the wounded we were with, and then we continued walking to the exfil point where we left in the middle of the night. Yeah, shovels, the operation I think we're most known for, and as you can see, trenches we train on the most for good reason, because they suck to fight in, but you have to know how to do it. And that's what makes part of us so effective, because we take that so seriously.
Like the biggest benefit that we had on that operation, so we had 14 guys going up against like 22 Russians, not including the ones in the north that we killed because we could see them. But, 2 to 1 for, typically you want more, like when you're doing an assault operation, you typically want more assaulters to defenders. So like going up, like you're never going to get that perfect like 3 to 1 ratio where you have 3 assault element guys for every defender. You can try, but then you just have too many people in the trench, and then you get killed that way.
Especially when the number one thing that I'd given as casualties is shrapnel from so that's either drones or IDF. And the more guys we pile in, the less it becomes less safe, because now we're very dense. And if one guy does get hit and he's next to like 5 other guys, because there's nowhere for anybody to spread out, now you got 5 injuries as opposed to 1.
And like the area we took basically allowed the Ukrainians to try to advance further south, because now we took a position that was at the second line for the Russians. So like further south of that, now they had Russians that were basically sticking out in the middle that they could then, try to push on easier, because now you have their sides locked down.
That actually forced them. The Russians ended up giving up, was it 3 bunkers and a position?
Yeah.
And it showed the Russians, like, just because they want to claim we're dead, we're not dead. And now we're just angrier.
Yeah, we just obliterated a platoon.
We got, what's his name? Gosak. 30B opinions here.
How am I supposed to hold this position?
See, I wouldn't mind. This is good. Exfilling under the cover of darkness, so the thermal imagery would be.
In the winter, I hunkered in Maine when a modern day Hitler invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, so that's that. So you can see how hectic it is assaulting trenches, and how left it can go straight away. Like you notice the Team Delta that had Mozzie as the commander, they got hit straight away and had the through and through in the neck. You can see once he went down, those guys didn't really move. Their mission then turned to making sure he's okay, because can you imagine assaulting those trenches? See, it would have been different if that would have been where the Ukraine soldiers were. They could have left Mozzie and kept assaulting forward, because they got friendlies behind them. But because they drove around Russian lines and then dropped in there, they couldn't leave him in the trenches there. So they couldn't imagine trying to drag him around whilst fighting. So it's not practical. So what they did was they bunkered in there and defend that ground to keep that fella alive there. So it was a different situation because they were forward of Russian trenches. If they kept assaulting, a Russian could have got in there and obviously just stabbed him, just knifed him. So, is there any questions about what you just saw? I mean, whether you believe in for Ukraine or Russia, that's a whole other story. I'm just here to break down what I'm seeing in the trench warfare because I'm 22 years Aussie soldier. I taught in the end. I taught how to live in the ground on my dogs here. Someone's just arrived. My dog's going crazy, but yeah. So trench warfare. It's a fucking crazy place to be in. You can see how crazy it can get. And that dude got dropped and his body couldn't work. His whole body was fucked. And that's just because he hit. I thought it was an AK that hit him, but he got hit with I think it was a PKM, which is a Russian machine gun. So the velocity of that round would have had a bit of more fucking boom on it when it hit his helmet, hit his neck, man. I enjoyed that. So that's what I'm going to keep bringing for you, something different, give you a different point of view. Some of the terminology that the boys might be using that you might miss, when they're talking, I'll break that down. This is pretty much what I'm an expert at, that's what I did, that stuff. And the Aussies are good at this shit because it's hard. And the harder you train, the better the fucking soldier you are, So now imagine doing that in the jungle, and that's what we do. So we'll do trench warfare in the fucking jungle. So it makes it even harder. And you got rain and you got mud and you got cunts that can sneak up on you in the middle of the night because it's so pitch black that none of your thermal imagery or your night vision works that well in the jungle. So you're dealing with that, and so we just those elements. This is what makes I think Australians better and more natural at living in the ground too. But yeah. Mega Steve, yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, so you enjoy that poochie, what's that, poochie fish? Yeah, it's good, mate. That's what I hope more people can sort of get a bit of a different look out of it. Yeah, so Mark Suckerturd, hey mate, how are you, brother? So yeah, really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did. And you got anything you want to say or add or anything, Jack? Any questions you want to ask or anything, mate?
Just on behalf of Mel, I just want to say you're a pussy. And, Mark, whilst this is still in Newcastle, brother, I'd love for you to sign this. We're going to send it up to Sarge when it's done. We're going to get everyone to write their names on it.
Yeah, that's mad. That's awesome, bro. I really love that.
I just seen Mark then, so I thought I'd better mention it. But yeah.
Yeah, fucking always love to hear your perspective. Thanks, Santa. I appreciate it. Kiwi sailors say our Navy shit. Can't comment on our Navy. I don't know how good, bad, ugly they are. But I fucked them, punched on with a lot of them on that day. I can tell you that. They're no good at fighting. Are there limits? Like, I noticed a fella on the truck once, it was sundown. Is that so troops have a chance to get wounded to hospital, or do they usually have a firefight through the night? Oh, it all depends on how disciplined the troops are that are going to do the retaliation. So if I was the Russians, I would have been hitting them trenches from the minute they fucking come in there. I would have been sending men into those trenches, man, to overrun those guys. It would have been easily overrun. But it just goes to show that the Russians aren't quick to respond. That just means their training's not that good. It doesn't mean their reconnaissance isn't that good. Their drones aren't that good. Because the minute I've seen those trucks coming up, I would have been coming. Let's go. We need to fucking hit these cunts now while their backs are turned on us. Because you could see they had their backs to the paddock. They were so concerned about what was in the trenches. You could literally run up behind them and get within 300 meters of those guys and just pick them off from behind. But literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woodsy loved it. Yeah, sweet, Woodsy. Yeah, thanks,
Sarge, I believe you've got a bucket sitting there in front of you, and it's about that time of night.
I do, and I noticed there's like a lot of people in the house all the way through that, so I appreciate you coming and hanging and listening to my point of view and my 2 cents. But Jack's right, I can hear a little oi, oi. It was just coming from here.
It was like, pussy, pussy.
I wasn't here last week. Who won? Okay, so first place dancer was won by Royce Wallace. Congratulations. Second place was won by Steve. And third prize was won by Vape HQ. It's good to see. Glad to see all in the war though. Yeah, I know, isn't it crazy? Need 3 more like SS. How you going? SS contract thing. Surprise element. Ahoy. Good day.
I don't think there's operation hours for war, bro. I think it's just war.
I meant to say is there battle hours like combat only between? No. Fuck no, bro. No. There's the element of surprise. That the only way you can come up with it, if you can get them there sleeping at 3 a.m, bro, then that's when you hit them. No, there's no op. It's 9 o'clock.
What are the laws to war?
Hey.
What are the laws to war?
There isn't any. What you have is what we call ROE. So you got rules of engagement. So you got a bunch of rules of what you can do to pull the trigger. And then we have another one called off, orders for opening fire. So you have rules of engagement and you have orders for opening fire. And you have all these situations of the reasons why you can. It never used to be like that. When you're fighting against an enemy, like Ukraine's fighting Russia, so if they have anyone with an enemy cams is up for fucking, even if they put their hands up, you can still kill them because it's a different situation. When you're in a religious war, how we were fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq, it's the rules are completely different. So we need black and white rules of engagement, who we can engage, when we can engage, how we can engage, and what our orders for opening fire are. So, and how we step it up from presenting weapons. It's called escalation of violence. From, having your weapon slung to having your weapon here, to racking your weapon, to shouldering your weapon, to applying the safety catch to instant. There's all these different like orders for opening fire that you can apply in different situations too. So you need to be on top of all those different laws. So it's a different time of fighting at the moment now for Western troops anyway that are fighting mostly terrorism. We've got a bunch of laws that we have to abide by. Like we can't fire on religious spilling. So they can run into mosques and use that against us. We can't fire on anything medical. So if we see a red cross or a red crescent, they can, we can't fire on that, so they can use that against us. They can use our orders. They can find out what our rules of engagement are, study them, and use them against us. Rules of engagement are different to each theatre of war. So when you go into a different theatre of war, be in Iraq or Afghan or in Africa, the rules of engagement are completely different for each.
Yeah, but I think what we're asking is like on both ends. So is that rules of engagement from their end and our end, or just
no? They're fighting a holy war. They got Allah on their side, so anything goes. They'll fire into a church. They'll fire into our hospital. They'll fire into a man turned around eating food with no weapon in his hands, and they'll pretend to be your friend and do it. They don't give a fuck. There's no rules for them guys. None. They put suicide vests on kids for fuck's sake. Oh, another kid in that bottom cupboard there, love.
Are we dropping the link on this one, Sarge?
No, I was going to start a new one.
Well, I'll go over and kick that up now, so it's ready for us.
Yeah. Hey, how are you, bro? Hey, Lee Zero.
Sure do.
Yeah, United Nations, Lee Zero, useless cunts. Bunch of useless cunts. Yeah, so that really I was going to have Friday night, guys. I hope everyone's feeling all right. 42 in the house. Big love. Thanks for the support. Good to see you spending the time here. That's the old Spud Lee from the Wild Bull Bar says, the old snake pit, because in the army we call the sergeant's mess the snake pit, because the sergeant's good snakes. And so, yeah, you're all in the snake pit tonight, enjoying. If you're having a drink, have a hit one back. If you're having a billy, hit one back. Fuck all brother waiting on parts from machine to turn up. And the plane otherwise shift's been cancelled. I do. Fuck, bro. No worries, Dancer. Enjoy your evening, mate. Have a nice night.
Oh no, we're good to go whenever you want it.
Hey?
Good to go.
All right. What time did you set it for?
Not long.
Can you make it like 10 minutes?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, sweet. All right. I'm gonna go. What we're gonna do here, guys, is we're gonna end this live, and I'm gonna start another one in 10 minutes, and I'm gonna open a panel up and come up, hang out, smoke billies, drink beers. We might even play a few Tom McDonald songs. Who knows? I'm just joking. But
You might even sing one or two.
hey.
You might even sing one or two.
Oh yeah, Aussie Pug. If you're out there, you got to email me, mate. We got to link up and do that. Aussie Pug wants to sing a song with me, so I'm going to sing a song with him. But you know. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, Asho, you busted your thumb pretty good, eh? How's that going?
Oh yeah, poor bugger wouldn't be able to wank. He would be upset at work. Bloody hell.
Yeah. All right then. Much love, everybody. See if you want to hang out a little bit more and come and hang. You know, come up on the panel and we'll try and solve the problems of the world. Whatever. No topic off limits. All right. So big love, everyone.
And I know I say this every week, but once again, there's 35 in the house. I know I've seen it 40 most of the night, but thank you to all 35 users that are always there. Big love. Thank you for the support. And once again, like I did say, I do have this, and it's just a thing for Sarge. It was just something we come up with for a free thing that everyone can put their name down on. We're happy to chip in for the postage if you can't afford it or whatever it may be. But we'd love to get everyone's name on it. There's heaps of room on this fucking thing. And then we'll go to Sarge, and then he has something from everyone, and it costs us nothing.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. I love that. Love that idea.
Or it gets lost in the mail and we forget about it. Who gives a fuck? But we don't.
Yeah, man. All right then. I think Jack set that up, so that should you probably see that come up on my lives in 5 or 10. So we'll see you over there in a minute. Big love, everyone.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Oh, it's going to get loud. We've got to turn that. When you hit end, that pistol shooting is going to come up.
No, I'll turn it off.
Oh, sweet.